Hi, in this video we are going to see what is JDBC adapter notification, and also we are going to see some of the demo using Web Method Designer, and we are going to use Web Method 10.11 for this particular demo. So before doing the demo, so we'll just see what is adapter notification. So mainly if you wanted to use adapter notification, so we need any kind of resource. It could be your database, for example Oracle or MQ, or it could be SAP, or any kind of resource we need it. And whenever there is a change at that particular resource, I wanted to get notified. So that is what adapter notification. Basically adapter notification contains information about an event that occurs on an adapter resource. This adapter resource is nothing but your the resource information where it is available. It could be Oracle or it could be your MQ server. So that is, we are calling it as adapter resource. So whenever any changes happening, for example in Oracle there is a table, and where some information is getting inserted or updated or deleted, then what we wanted to know that information so that we can process that data to the target system. So how we are going to do, so we will be creating some adapter notification in our designer. So when we create the adapter notification, it also creates some publishable document type in designer. So whenever there is a changes happening in this Oracle database or any kind of adapter resources, it will publish the document which we can listen and subscribe and process that information to the downstream system. So we are going to see how we are going to do that, and this is all about adapter notification. And in the adapter notification itself, we have a few adapter notification. One is the insert, update and delete. For this one, when you create adapter notification using these templates, it automatically creates some buffer table, trigger table and sequence table at the database side. So we no need to create anything manually. So everything taken care by Web Method itself. But only thing is, for that particular database or table, right, you should have the necessary permission to write or create those objects at the database side. In some cases that access will be very limited, so only the DBA can create buffer table, trigger table and sequence table for our integration. So then we have to use a basic notification, and DBA at the database side, they have to create these tables at their end, so that we can create a basic notification in order to listen to the table. Whenever there is a changes, we can process it to the other systems. So now in this demo, I am going to use Web Method Designer 10.11, and also I am going to mainly use the Web Method Service Designer, which comes along with the Web Method Integration Server as well. So that's the server I connected, and also I opened that server from the browser as well. This already I have configured to connect to my universal messaging, which is also running in the same machine. And also I have a JDBC adapter as well, which I have opened it. Okay, so the JDBC adapter page also I have opened it. So in this page I have created only one connection as of now, which is pointing to my Oracle database in the same machine. So I have installed some Oracle 19c in my machine. There I have created one user called demo user, and that's the one I connected. And also I connected with some default database, which is ORCL, and I connected with default port for Oracle. Okay, so in this example I'm using Oracle, but you can use it for any other table which is supported by Web Method JDBC adapter. Okay, so now the connection is available, and I am going to open the SQL Plus. This is my SQL Plus. So I'll just try to log in. So already logged in. So I'll just show you the table which I already created, which is a employee. See, select asterisk from employee. There are around 15 rows are available. So it has a name, ID and department. So this is the information available in the employee table in the Oracle database. So this is the database connection I have connected it. Here we will only tell about the database information. Here we will not specify anything about the table information. So database is there, table is there, and we have a connectivity to universal messaging also there. Because whenever we create adapter notification, it internally creates a publishable document type which will go through messaging layer. For that we need either or broker, but as it is a latest version Web Method 10.11, I am using universal messaging server in order to perform any kind of publish and subscribe. So now I'll just go to the designer. So this is the service designer where I have started the integration server. Now I'm going to create the adapter notification. So for that, in this test package, which is the existing package, I'll just create a folder, and I'll call this as a adapter notification, and I'll just click finish. So whatever the notification I'm going to create it here, new adapter notification. So I'll just call this as employee. Okay, so I'm just going to employee insert notification I'm going to create. So whenever there is a insert is happening in the table, I wanted to know immediately. Okay, so employee insert notification, I'll just click next and select the adapter. So as I told earlier, this will work for other adapters as well. So even you can create a notification for your MQ adapter or SAP adapter. So whatever the list of adapter you already installed in your environment, that will show. In my environment, I have only installed JDBC because I'm using a web method service designer which comes along with JDBC alone for the trial. And I'll just click next, and I'm going to use a insert notification. So see here, it monitors an insert operation. So if anybody is inserting any records to the table, it monitors it. And I'm just going to click next, and I'll go back and I'll show the basic notification also. See here, this is the basic notification. Whatever you see in the fourth one, that is a basic notification. Insert, update, delete. We no need to ask DB8 to create the required table like buffer table, sequence table and all. So those it will get created automatically. Basic notification, DBA has to create it because of the access they wanted to manage. They need to create it. So as of now, I'll just go with the insert notification so that everything will be taken care by web method itself if you have a required access for that particular user. So I'll just click next. This is my connection name, so which I showed you in the adapter page. Adapter page has only one connection, so that is the connection name. I'm selecting it. I'll click next, and it will create the equivalent publishable document type. If you see here, when you create a document, right, or when you create adapter notification, we gave only the name till employee insert notification. So it's additionally added published document because whenever you create an adapter notification, it additionally creates this publishable document. I'll just click finish and I'll show you. See here, there are two things got created. One is the insert notification, other one is a publishable document. When you open the publishable document, initially it will have only envelope. So, but we need more information. So you just go, see here, I just opened the employee insert notification. So this is the adapter notification. Notification configuration tab, we have these table. Basically these tables automatically created now, and tables, and if you see here, so if you have many tables, right, in your database, you have to select the table, but as of now, in that particular database, I have only one table. So that's why it's automatically selected. Otherwise, you have to browse here and you have to go to current catalog and current schema, and you have to see list of table available, and there you have to select your table. I'll just click OK, and joins, I will not fill anything. Select what information I wanted to fetch it. For example, if there is a changes happening for the particular table, what are the information I wanted to know at the integration layer. So I'll just select this button and then I'll click this one, which will fill all the rows. As of now, this particular table has three information: name, ID and department, because we already connected to the connection, and it's pulling the information from your table. So from web method we can see the metadata, whatever the table is available. So that is coming with the name and what is the associated data type at the database side. Everything is coming properly. Now when I don't want to fill anything, because whenever there is a insert is happening, I wanted to get notified for this particular demo. So I'll just click save and just go and open this one. You will be able to see these three fields added addition to envelope, because that's the information it's going to get published. So what will happen now? So whenever some changes happening in the employee table, and we will get this notification document published, and I'll just go and right click and show sync document type, and you see updated locally. So if you wanted to push it to the provider, right, you can synchronize it. So then only it will get synchronized with your universal messaging. Okay, so I'll just go and see the sync document type. It's already in sync with provider now. Earlier it was locally available. Now it is in sync with provider. So now what I'll do, I'll just go to this page and go to the polling notification. So earlier, before we create, this page was empty. Okay, so now we created this employee insert notification that's in a disabled state. So you can enable it, go and edit schedule and click this one, and interval second you can give even 5 second, 10 second, whatever it is. So when you give this 5 second, every 5 second it will whatever the data it's getting changed at database side, it will receive immediately as an event, and then it will publish this document. Okay, so I'll just save settings and I'll just try to enable it. So I change the interval to 5 seconds and just enabling it. So now it's enabled. So whenever there is a document or whenever there is a change is happening in the table, like anyone is inserting to that particular table, web method will get to know because this document will get published. So once it's published, right, we need to subscribe it and invoke our process service. Then only we'll know about the data, what we have received it, and which we can take it to downstream system or other backend system. So now what we have to do, so we have to have a trigger for this one. So basically this document, whenever there's a changes, now it will get published to our universal messaging, which I need to subscribe it. So I'll just go and create some trigger folder, new folders, triggers. I'll click finish. Here I'll create the subscriber. So I'm just going to create the trigger now, which is a web method messaging trigger. I'll say subscribe employee insert data. Okay, so this is the data. Whenever there is an insert is happening, I wanted to subscribe it. I'll click finish, and here we need to say which document you wanted to subscribe, right? I'll just go and click the document type which is available in this adapter notification document. So this is showing the published document, right? So I'll just select the published document, the one which is ending with published document. Now I selected. So whenever we select that, right, we have to invoke a process service also. So as of now I have not created any process service. I'll just go and quickly create the process service which is going to get invoked from your trigger. So I'll say process employee insert data. So any insert is happening, I wanted to invoke this service. I'll just click next and I'll just click finish. So as of now this is the empty service which I'll try to invoke it from this service. I open the trigger. In the trigger already we have specified the document type. Whenever this document type is coming to our universal messaging, I want to invoke this service. So I'm just going to select the service which is nothing but this process employee insert data which we just created. Okay, so now the trigger configuration, everything is complete. I'll save everything. So now I'll just come and write the code which is required for our process service. I'll just go and input output tab. This is basically going to receive our publishable document. So I'll just copy that document as an input. So this document, employee insert notification publishable document. So I'll just drag and drop it, and I'll copy this namespace. I'll just do a copy and then I'll just paste it here, so that we know it's referred from this particular path. Okay, so this is the document. I'm going to receive it from my trigger as well. So now what I'll do, I'll just write a few lines of code just to show you we have received the document from the table. Whenever there is a insert is happening, we are receiving it or not, that I'm going to show. So for that, if you see this input, right, it's a document. So I'll just convert this to some document to JSON, and then I'll print the log. I'll just convert document to JSON strings here. You can go to WM public and pub JSON folder document to JSON string folder. Go to pipeline and I'll just map this to document. Okay, so then JSON string will come. This JSON string I'll print it in a log. So I'll just see, I have recently used log. Yeah, pub flow debug log. So if it's not listing here, just click invoke and go to your WM public package and browse that particular built-in service. I'll click this pub flow debug log, and there I'm going to match or map this JSON string. Okay, so I'll go to the document to JSON string. So we map the document. So anyway, I don't need these two things, which I'll drop it now, so that I will not carry forward to the further flow steps. I'll go to debug log where I need only the JSON string. These two data I don't need it now. I'll drop this one. So now I'll save this one. In addition, right, I'll also write into some file system. I'll just go to insert, and there's a string to file available in the WM public. Okay, so I'll just match this map this JSON string to data file name, right? Okay, so better what I'll do, I'll not drop it here, so that in the file name I can take it from the data itself. So I'll not drop this original document, and I'll just take some information from there for the file name. So here I'll take the ID as a file name and I'll paste it here. And where I wanted to write it, I just wanted to write it into some folder. I'll just go to C:, and I have some demo folder and I have some output folder. I'll just copy this one, and as of now whatever the file I have in that folder, I'll delete it. I have deleted it now. So I'll just copy this path and I'll give this one, and I wanted to copy. You have to give, if you wanted to substitute any variable which is available in the pipeline, you have to give percentage. In between you have to give a variable. I'll just click OK and copy this field again, and I'll just go to the file name again, and I'm going to give, this is a static path where I wanted to write it, and then file name I wanted to take it dynamically, so that this will have an ID as a name, and then at the end I just wanted to add a JSON. Okay, I'll just click OK, and also I'll check this checkbox which is perform variable substitution, because we have given a percentage syntax which needs to be substituted based on the runtime variable. Okay, so I have saved it. So now what we are doing, so we are whatever the document we are receiving as an event, whenever there is a change is happening in the database, mainly the insert notification, whenever there is anyone is inserting the record to the table, we'll get this document published, and which we are subscribing it, and we are converting to JSON, and that JSON string I'm writing to the file system. And finally, I don't need these things. I'll remove this file name, data, this also I don't need it, and only I need JSON string which I want to log and show as well. Okay, I'll save everything. So now everything is ready. I'll just go to this particular page just to check the adapter polling notification, right, which is enabled or not. So it's enabled. So when it is enabled, so whenever there is a data is coming to our table as a insert, this internally it will publish this publishable document. So once this document is published, we have a trigger which will subscribe the document and it will invoke some service. That service we have written a logic as of now to convert that as a string, because it's a database information, right? It is a records. So that record is coming as a IS document, which we are converting to JSON string, which I am writing to the file system and also in the log. So log I can see it from this console tab, and also I can see now the time is 9:09. I have a log still 9:07. So we are going to see whenever there is a data is getting changed, our log is coming here or not. Okay. So I can see it from the console, because this is my IS log, which I am using it in a web method service designer. And alternatively, I can go to the browser and I can see it from here as well. In the logs folder I can see, or logs path, I can go to the server log where I can see the data. The last one is 9:10. And okay, so now see the last one is 9:10 and it's saying unable to start web method connection, it's disabled. Okay, it's saying it's not available. I'll just go and check the connectivity settings. I'll go to the messaging one where we will have all the related stuffs with respect to messaging, and the it's saying it's not available. I'll just try to enable it. If it's not enabling, then I'll just go and start the Okay, I think it's not connected. I'll just go to the services .msc software AG. Yeah, so I'm using this which is running in 10.7, and then once it started, right, I'll start it from here and then we will publish and see how it is working end to end. So meanwhile, yeah, maybe it started also, it's running. So I'll just go and enable it here. See here, it's enabled now. So end to end it will work now. So I'll just go to the SQL Plus now, which is this one, and I have 15 rows. I'm going to insert. Before that, I'll just enter it also. So there are 15 rows now. I'll try to add one more record. So I'll just say insert into table name is employee, and then the field name, right, I'll just give test already there. I'll just give test1, comma, and then the ID I'll give 1015, and then I'll say he's from testing department. Okay, so this is the data I wanted to insert into employee, and this is okay, so this is values, right, and I'll just give values, and then semicolon we have to give. So one row is created, and whenever you do a insert, right, in database we have to commit also. I have done a commit as well. So now I'll just do a employee query which will show 16 record. Okay, so the record which we have added, right, which is earlier, if you see here, 15 rows, now it's 16 rows, and whatever the row we added, test 1015, right, see here, this is the record we have inserted just now. So we have inserted a record, so we will be able to see that get published to our integration layer as well. See here, 9:12, my emission time are also 9:12. 9/12 you see the name test1 1015 department testing, right, that got published. And also you're able to see this is a JSON, which means it's subscribed as well. So whenever it published, see here that subscribe employee has been triggered, started, and then which subscribe the data and which is printing the log as well, because this is the log which is available in this code after the subscription, because this is a process service which you are subscribing using this trigger, which is converted a JSON string which will log the data into our server log as well. So now I'll just go and show, because we are also writing into file as well. I'll go to that folder, see here 10015 JSON 9:12 AM. Say if I open it in a notepad, right, I'll open with notepad, you'll be able to see the same data. See here, entire data is in the JSON format, because it is also having envelope has specific fields with respect to universal messaging, so all the data is available. 1015 testing and name. So this way you can receive the data at your end. So what is happening? So whenever there is an insert is happening, the data is coming to our trigger, which is getting invoked, and this process service, which is whatever the logic we need to apply, we can do it. For this demo, I just stored it in a local file system and also logged it. But in a real use case, we need to know only the data whenever there's a change, which we need to push it to some other system. For example, I receive a data, this employee data, I have to send it to some HR system, or I wanted to send it to SAP, or I wanted to send it to SAP SuccessFactors. So those kind of logic we'll write, because we know with this structure what data is coming. So the same data you can connect to some web service and send the data, or you can connect to another connector to send the data. So those kind of things we can do it. So in this exercise, what we have seen so far? So we have seen so far insert notification, because we have created a notification as a insert. Similarly, if you wanted to create some kind of other notification, right? For example, even if you delete now also, you will not get any notification. For example, I'm just going to do delete asterisk from employee where ID equal to whatever the recently I'm inserting, right? So I'm just deleting 1015. Okay, the from spelling mistake, I'll correct it. Yeah, so okay, 2 rows deleted. Maybe this 1015 was there. Here also there is 1015. Here also 1015. That's why 2 records got deleted. And I'll just commit that. So now only 14 rows will be there. 14 rows are there. And if you come and see your log, right, and you will not see any changes. So whatever it was there, right, that only it was having it, because this particular notification will get triggered when there is only insert. For example, if you wanted to write other kind of notification, right, for example, I wanted to write adapter notification. For example, I wanted to get notified for delete. Okay, so delete notification. Then click next, select this one. Here you need to select the delete notification, monitors and delete operation. Then click next and test this one, and it will publish this document. I'll click finish, and this document, right, delete notification document, you just sync to it's already in sync. And here I'll select the table. So table is already selected here because I have only one table, which is employee, and I'll go to select. I want to see all the rows, and I'll save this one. So now I wanted to, whenever there's a delete, I want to do something, then you have to create one service, one trigger. I'll create one service for process employee deletion data, right? So I'll write the service. I'll click next. I'll click finish, and trigger also to create. So meanwhile, I'll just go and drag and drop this delete document here. I'll copy that and put it here, rename, and this service basically receives that as an input, and I want to, for this one, I'll just do only the debug log alone. Okay, but again, I wanted to convert that as some other format. Maybe I'll just try to convert as a XML, and XML, right, we need to give some data as well as an input while converting. I'll copy and I'll go to the pipeline, and this mapping I'll do document, because this is the one I wanted to convert to, and then document type name. Yeah, that's it. And then the XML data is there. This XML data, I'll try to log it now. I'll use a debug log insert debug log, and whatever the XML data, right, I'll just map it to the message so that it will appear in your log. I'll save this one, and process service is ready, but we had to create the trigger. I'll create the trigger quickly. Web method messaging trigger, subscribe, employee, delete. I'll click finish. So here I have to browse the service and also document type. So for this one I wanted to subscribe the deletion notification which is available in this document or this folder. So once I subscribe, I wanted to invoke our process service which we have just created, process employee deletion data. So now trigger configuration also complete. I saved everything. So whenever there is a delete is happening, this notification document will get published, which we are subscribing it from this trigger, delete trigger, which will invoke this process employee deletion data, which is nothing but this service, which is converting that is to XML, and then finally it's logging to debug log. So now I'll just delete it, and I'll just do a delete for another record. Maybe now I'll try to do for 1014, one record deleted. I'll just commit it, and then yeah, so the commit is complete. Now I'll just also do a select, and just to show that record got deleted, right? So earlier 14 rows, now it will show 13 rows because we have deleted the ID with 1014. Now I'll just come to the log. I'll just come to the console. Subscribe started. Okay, so what thing we didn't do is, if you come to, because I went to the log and checked and there is no log actually, because that's why I'm coming and checking in the polling notification. We forgot to schedule it and enable it. Okay, so delete notification, you just give some schedule, 3 second, 5 second or 10 second. I'll give 5 for now, and I'll just enable this one. I'll give OK. See, it's enabled now, and I'll just go and see the log now. So there is nothing because this was done before, right? The delete was done before. That time we don't have any notification. So I'll just go and delete one more record, 1013, one row deleted. I'll just commit it, and it should be now 12 records instead of 13. See, 12 records. The whatever the record I have deleted, this 1013 Alex testing, and I'll just go and see the log now. See the log. It's having XML data, XML name, ID, department, envelope. So entire thing, right? So this way you can receive a data, because in the table we have deleted Alex 1013 and testing. So the same information we need to replicate to the other system. For example, that system also we need to remove the particular delete record. So this way, whenever there is a changes is happening in your table, very quickly we can listen to it and we can update to your downstream system. So whatever we have done, it's a deletion. Similarly, you can do other notification as well. So today what we have seen, insert and delete, but same thing if you go and here adapter notification and give the some name, select the adapter connection, and you can try for update as well. So update is whenever some update is happening, you will get a notification. Based on that, you can update to the downstream system. Delete, we tried it. Basic notification we didn't try, but this one there is no major change. Only thing is when we create the notification, right? So I'll just go to the one of the notification, insert this table we created. So it's automatically created with the starting with WM, and it's have a buffer table, trigger table, and sequence table, right? So these tables will be created by DBA itself when you go for a basic notification. So that's what I wanted to cover it today. Thank you.